have you ever been apprehensive about buying electrolytes because you're unsure how they taste, how do they dissolve? I'm just not too sure. Well, that's what we're here for.
So we are Shamy, back again, the dietitians here at Active Health Clinic. I am Amy and this is Shay.
Hi.
And what we're going to do today is a bit of an electrolyte tasting for you. So we can't in real life taste the electrolytes for you, but this is the next best thing. We're going to give you our opinions on all the factors for these 3 electrolytes today, just to help you out with your decision.
Yeah, so hopefully it takes a bit of that cognitive load off you, and like what Amy said, we can't taste it for you, and hopefully we've got different opinions, different taste buds, so you've got as much knowledge as you can have without trying it yourself. So the first one we're going to try today is the pH 1500, higher in sodium, and it's this first one here. So first things first, we're going to have a look at the dissolvableness of it, even if is that even a word? Who knows?
Kind of, yeah.
There's a little bit left in the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit of white powder in the bottom of mine, but other than that, it's pretty well dissolved.
It smells smells citrusy, but it's not offensive in any way.
No, it kind of smells a little bit like sherbet or like a lolly in a way.
That's spot on. All right,
ready?
Cheers.
Let's do it.
Number 1.
What do you think, Shay?
This one I can taste more of that, I don't want to call it salty taste, but more of that electrolyte base than a flavour, but there is still a bit of like a mild citrusy taste in there as well. So I would say I can taste some of the sodium in here, which makes sense because it is the higher sodium option. How about you?
Yeah, I like citrus flavours myself, so I quite enjoyed this one taste-wise, but it does have a little bit of an aftertaste that's a little bit artificial or sodium-y, so you can tell that there's a fair bit packed in there. But I actually quite like that one. Yeah.
It's also not too sweet. It's not really sweet. Like there's a little bit of sweetness, but I wouldn't call it necessarily sweet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so if you're someone that's not the biggest sweet tooth, then that's probably not a bad one.
Yeah, and I like that it's clear as well. You know, if you're wanting to just have like a water bottle, you could definitely pass that off.
Yeah, definitely pass it off as water. Beautiful.
Number 2.
Yeah, let's do number 2.
So this is our one that you can buy from a supermarket, which is our Hydrolyte. We've used the tablets today. This is an easily accessible one that most people have around, and the sodium content of this one sits between our pH 1500 and our last one we'll talk about. And we've picked a berry flavour today, so let's have a little smell. Very fruity.
You can definitely smell the berry. It gives real Ribena vibes.
And how is the dissolvableness in your...
So there's a little bit of powder at the bottom, but when we made this one up, we did have to crush the tablet a bit to get it to dissolve this much, so that might be a little bit of a downside for this one.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Definitely sweeter than the first one.
Yeah, you can really sort of like, it probably like explodes in your mouth a little bit more, like you can really taste the artificial like berry flavour like straight up, which if you like that flavour would be quite pleasant. So
yeah, and it has like almost like a bubbliness to it, like it's almost like
you can sort of
get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. You can tell that it's come from a dissolvable tablet.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So if you don't like if you're not a fizz person, then this one might not be it for you.
That's it. It's got a bit of fizz. That's what I was looking for. And yeah, for me, I'm not a big artificial sweetener fan, so I can taste the artificial sweetener and that which is a little bit off-putting, but it is on the sweeter side. Cool. All right, and our last one is going to be our pure, which has no artificial sweeteners in it, made from real fruits. It does have a lower sodium content, so I guess we have this one for taste preference for most people, or some people who like a more an electrolyte without artificial sweeteners.
What does this one smell like? Oh, you can't smell it as much as the others.
And yeah, it doesn't really have a smell to it. So even though it's got a bit of colour to it and it's meant to be, I think, orange, you actually can't smell it like you can with the others.
So that might be good if you're not if you don't want a very strong smell.
Yeah, if you have any concerns about smells or things that can be off-putting, this is probably a good one for you.
Sorry, I've just gone ahead and tasted it before Shay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Cool.
The flavour is probably not as overpowering or as strong as the Hydrolyte, but it does still have a sweet juice-like flavour to it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's sort of residues of real fruit in there that it can really remind you of, like a diluted orange juice sort of thing, which is pretty cool.
And how about the dissolve? How's it dissolved in there?
There's again a little bit of powder at the bottom, but I think this one's dissolved pretty well. Sometimes we find with the bigger volumes, with this one, it takes a little bit to dissolve it.
Yeah. So if we had to rate them, let's put them in order of what we find is our preference, and let's see how that compares.
Yes, all right. Let's decide.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we're a bit different. There you go.
So for me, I've gone pure first. It has that less artificial flavouring. It's still sweet, but not too sweet. I did the berry one next, even though it does have a bit of artificial sweetener taste. I prefer sweeter things generally. And then the pH 1500, it was a hard choice between those two. I still do enjoy this, so it just kind of depends if you want a stronger flavour or not for me.
Yeah, that is so fair. I've done it a little bit differently. So I really liked the pH 1500. I could imagine myself drinking quite a lot of that because the flavour isn't as strong, it's not as sweet. Could put that in my water bottle and get through a fair bit, which is why I think it's number one. Then the pure, because I do really like the sort of natural taste to it, and it is quite easy to drink, but I probably couldn't get through as much. And then Hydrolyte, I don't mind the berry flavour, but I think the dissolvableness, like the taste of fizz at the end, probably isn't my favourite. So yeah, I think overall they're pretty good, but slightly different orders.
I would honestly drink all of them, but if I had to rate them, that's my order. Hopefully that answered some of your questions, and if there's any other electrolytes you want us to try, please comment and we will try and do that when we can for you. Thanks.
Bye, and that's Shamy over and out.